Hello everyone, today I will introduce a new product to all of you. The new product is SA5212H5. It is a server customized for Alibaba. Now I will introduce the new product from the following 4 parts. Part 1. Product introduction. Part 2. Function model instruction. Part 3. Assembly and debugging. Part 4. Maintenance. So let's begin part 1. Product introduction. SA5212H5 is an independent development server product. It supports Intel Poly platform and Lewisburg chipset is used. It supports 2 Intel Skylake series processor. It supports the latest TDP 205 watt. It supports 24 DIMM DDR4 memory. It maximum supporting for 2600 MHz. This page shows product pictures. This picture is the support file index configuration of SA5212H5. So the support file index configuration can support 12 hard drivers. So the server can also support 2.5 inches hard drivers. It can support maximum 24 hard drives of 2.5 inches. This page shows the features and the specifications like CPU, PCI chipset, UPI, memory, network, I/O port, storage, PCI slot. For example, it can support Skylake processor, maximum support TDP 205 watt CPU. It can support Intel C620 chipset, Lewisburg, yes. The UPI can support 10.4 GT per second UPI and 11.2 GT per second UPI. The memory, it can support 24 DIMM slots. Each CPU supports 6 channel and 12 DIMM. So the server can support 2 CPU and 24 DIMM slots. The network, the onboard supports fee card and no onboard. It can support fee card and OCP standard card. The output front, there are 2 USB ports and 1 power button, 1 UID button. The rear can support 2 USB ports with 1 VGA port, 1 BMC reset button, 1 UID button, 1 BMC dedicated management port. And the internal, it supports 1 USB port, 1 TPM 2.0 port. The storage front it divides to 3 types Type 1 support file inches SAS or U.2 hard drivers. Type 2 supports 24 2.5 inches SAS hard drivers. Type 3 supports 24 2.5 inches U.2 SSD drivers. All hard disk interface through the HDMI or read card support SAS 3.0 to 12 dB or through the PCIe support SATA 3.0 6 dB. The motherboard also supports SATA, the two SATA ports for M.2, the four SATA ports for the mini SAS hard driver, the eight SATA ports for the mini SAS hard drivers, and also it can support double M.2 hard drivers. The real it can support up to 2.5 inches real hard drivers. It can support SAS. It can support SAS or NVMe. We can also call the NVMe as the U.2. Yes, the U.2 is the NVMe. The PCIe slot. One PCIe 3.0 with 24 slot, and one PCIe 3.0 with 16, and the others. This picture shows the front panel. From this picture, we can see the left here. There are two front USB ports, and the right controller board. There are the power button, UID button. Those are the to bear hard driver slot. Those two are just screws to fix the hard driver backplane. Those two screws can fix the fan bracket. Later is the chassis cover. The latter part, I will tell you how to pull out the chassis cover. This picture also shows the front panel. From this picture, we can see the two USB ports and the mounting screw. When the engineers mount the server on the cabinet, we need to lock the mounting screws. This one is also the mounting screw. This one is the front controller board. We can see the power button. We can press the power button to power off the server. This button is the UID button. We can locate the server from the UID button. Those are the hard drivers. The slot order is following the picture. The hard driver 1, the hard driver 2. the hard drive 3, the hard drive 4, from top to bottom, from left to right. This page shows a review panel. From this page, we can see it can support two real hard drives, the hard drive 1, the hard drive 2. Those two are the PSU power supply unit. This one is the PSU 1. This one is the PSU 2. This part shows the PCI slots 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one are the UID button, the two real USB ports, the network interface, the VGA port, the IPMI, also we can call it BMC management port. The two are the network interface. Which one is the system status indicator. From the indicator, we can see the system's status. This button is also the power button. It can also control the power of the server. We can press the button to power on or power off the server. So, the last part, I introduced the picture of the server, the front panel and the rear panel, and the feature and the specifications. So the second part, I will introduce the function module instruction. This page shows the motherboard topology. From this picture, we can see the connection between the CPU's memory, the PSU chipset, and the BMC, the PCI slot, and the other parts of the motherboard. So, for example, we can see this part, the CPU and the memory, the connection. Each CPU has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels. Every channel has 2 DIMMs, the DIMM 0, the DIMM 1. So each CPU can support 12 memories. So the server can support 2 CPUs. So the server can support 24 memories. Each CPU supports 12 memories. The other CPU support 12 memories. So the whole server can support 24 memories. From these lines, we can see the connection between the PCIe chipset with the CPU. This page shows the system scheme. The red line represents the power supply. The PSU supplying the power to the motherboard. And then the motherboard supplying the power to other parts. The M.2, 0.2. The M.2 is the internal M.2. The 0.2 is the real hard drive, and this one is the front hard drive. The motherboard supplies the power to the OCP card, the radar card, and the radar card supplies the power to our PCI card. And the green line represents the signal. From the picture, we can see all the signal can come to the motherboard. As we all know, the BMC module is on the motherboard, so we can use the BMC to control and monitor all the parts. So we can view the hard drive status, the fan status, the PSU status from the BMC web. This page shows the top view of the server, the front hard drive, the hard drive backplane, the four fans, the motherboard. This one is the M.2 module, the OCP card, are the PCI slot, the PCI cards, the two view hard drives, and the two PSUs, the CPUs, the memories. This page shows the motherboard feature. This one is a picture of the motherboard. From the former, we can see the specification of the motherboard, the size, the CPU, the memory, the PCI chipset, the SATA interface, the PCI slot, the QAT, the UPI, and the USB port, the VGA port, the BMC port, the TPM port. This page is the motherboard layout. This one is the layout picture of the motherboard. From the number, we can see the module's name. For example, 24 and the 4 is CPU 0, 24 is CPU 1, the memories, and the 25 and the 26 is the PCI slot. Also, we can see the picture from our knowledge base. When we repair the server, we want to find what's the name of the slot. We can find the slot from the former. Also, we can find it from our knowledge base. Also, there are some words on the motherboard. We can see it. This one is the physical view of the motherboard. Physical view. This one is the PSU interface. PSU can connect this part and supply the power to our motherboard. Those pictures are the physical view of M.2 SSD backplane and the real hard drive backplane. That one is SATA connector. The SATA connector shows the M.2 backplane can support two M.2 SSD. The bucket. When we install the M.2 SSD, we need to lock the bucket to to lock the endpoint to SD. The power connector. The power connector needs to connect the motherboard and the supply the power to the endpoint to backplane. This one the real hard drive backplane, the power connector, the SATA and the iPhone C, I2C, and the GPU connector. This one is the slimline connector, the CPLD chip. Those two are the hard drive connectors. Those two pictures are the front hard drive backplane, the I2C connector. It connector can deliver the signal. Those two are the power connectors, the SATA connectors. This one, and these root parts are all the SATA connectors. The NVMe, yes, it also means we also call it U.2 connectors. Which one? So there are 6 NVMe connectors. So which connectors can support 2 NVMe SSD? Those 12 are the hard drive connectors. So the last part, I introduced the funnel model instruction of the server. I have introduced the view of the motherboard, the view of the physical view of some parts. So now I will introduce assembly and debugging. The first, the page 1 shows the assembly of the chassis cover. We should remove the chassis cover from the picture. Step 1, remove the screw on the cover. Step 2, remove the real screw. The real screw, yes, which one is the real screw? Remove the screw on the cover. Those two are the screw. Screws. The 2 screws. Step 3, press the top 2 buttons and push up the cover rearward. Toward rearward to push up, so that you can remove the chassis cover. This page tells us how to remove the motherboard. Step 1, remove all cables and all cards on the motherboard. Step 2, unscrew the 2 blue screws. Unscrewing the 2 blue screws. The 2 screws we cannot remove the screw. We only can unscrew the screws. Step 3, push the 2 hands forward and then take the motherboard out. And first one, hold on the handles, the 2 handles, and towards the forward, and then take the motherboard out. This page tells us how to assemble the CPU models. 1, 2, 3, 4. This page shows our how to install, not install the CPU. Install CPU. We should follow the 4 paths to install the CPU. The important point is we need to install the CPU. This part and this part need to be together. The memory assembly. Step 1. Open the fixed brackets of a slot. Step 2. Make the gap right into the memory slot location. Press both ends of the memory. Get it completely into the slot, then fix it up. We shouldn't touch the chips on the memory. We need to hold here. We shouldn't touch the chip or the memory. And we shouldn't touch here. Also the figures of the memory, the figure of the memory. The guard figure of the memory. We shouldn't touch the guard figure of memory, and we shouldn't touch the chip of the memory too. The memory installation order in the following this part. The single CPU, the memory in accordance with the stick screen order. The double CPUs follow this. This page tells us how to install the front hard drive backplane. This one is and also tells us how to install the VU hard drive backplane. Step 1. The backend of the board is shown in the location. Vertically mounted from top to bottom. The bottom of the backplane needs to be stuck in the chassis position pin. This is the position pin. Step 2. Lock the side of the backplane. The chassis with some screws. Lock the side of the backplane and the chassis with some screws. As shown in the figure, each side of the chassis have 2 screws. Step 3. Use fixed screws to fix the backplane and the chassis front control board. As shown in the location, those 6 screws. This picture tells us how to install the real hard drive backplane. As shown, this one is the 1 screw. We need to lock it. This page shows how to install the M.2 SSD. Step 1. Install the hard disk on the M.2 backplane. Instead, install the M.2 backplane on the chassis. Use 1 screw. This one, the 1 screw. This one, we need to lock it up. Step 2. After the M.2 backplane and the hard disk installed, connect important power supply to the motherboard, and the SATA cables need to be connected to the motherboard too. This one is power cable. This one is the power cable. This one is the SATA cable. The last part, I have introduced how to assemble the parts of the server, like for example the motherboard, the hard drive backplane. The last part, the part 4 and the last part, I will tell you about some information of the maintenance. This pattern shows the refreshing of the BMC and BIOS and FIU and other. The BMC refreshing, we can use the 4 ways. The one use SOC flash to refresh on DOS OS, on EFI, on Linux. We can also refresh the BMC on BMC web. Refreshing process is the same with M4 platform. But we need to notice that BMC M5 platform BMC is mirrored. 2 images are stored on the same chip, so the update process needs to be done twice. Also, we can choose the connector. We can choose to update one time. We can update all the images one time from the BMC web. The BIOS refreshing, we can use the FU2 on EFI or Linux. And also, we can refresh the BIOS on BMC web. Refreshing process is the same with M4 platform. But the one important point we need to notice: BIOS can't but cannot be updated under DOS on the M5 platform. And the FIU refreshing, we need to use the IPMI CFG2 to refresh on DOS OS. But pay attention to refresh the FIU. We need to refresh the right information. It is very important. I suggest that refreshing BIOS and BMC. I suggest to refresh BIOS and BMC on BMC web. There is some difference between the SA5212H5 server with other servers. The title is wrong. It's about the cooling policy refreshing. We need to refresh when we refresh the BMC. We need to refresh the cooling policy too. We need to, according to the front hard driver, to choose a different cooling policy. If the server configure different hard driver, different front hard driver configuration, they need to refreshing different cooling policy. So the format of the refreshing, we need to use the IPMI2 tool. Use the tool following the command to refresh the cooling policy. This one is the BMC IP address, the username, the password. The default username is admin. The default password is also the admin. We need to pay attention to those parts. The flag. When the server has front hard drivers, we need to write 0x00. If the server has no front hard drivers, we need to write 0x01 here. The queue selector, selection of control queue of AI inlet. The 0 represents normal queue. The 1 represents queue have view P4000 NVMe hard disks. It means if we have no view NVMe hard disks, we need to write 0. If we have view NVMe hard drivers, we need to write 1 here. Which part? The back NVMe name select the number of the NVMe hard disks. If the server has no NVMe hard disks, we need to write 0 here. If the server has 1 NVMe hard disk, we need to write 1 here. If the server has 2 NVMe hard drivers, we need to write 2 here. The one important thing we need to pay attention is that it take a factor after rebooting BMC. So after we refresh the cooling policy, we need to reboot BMC. This command is to reboot BMC model. We need to follow the command to reboot the BMC model. This part is tell us the method of abandoning the flag of having front hard driver or not, and the queue of AI inlet. We can import its command and see the obtain of the flag and the queue of the AI inlet. This page is the last page. It tells us how to find the photo slot, how to locate the photo slot of the memory. When there is memory ACC error in the BMC seal log, we can use the following ways to save and analyze this log. Step 1, use the command. It also the IPMI2 to save the log. This one is the BMC IP, the admin, the password, SE cell. This one is the log's name. We can use other names. It all up to you. The step 2, open the ECC log. Open the server log. The content of the read box is error. We can find the photo slot by the form as following. If we see the ECC error from the log, we can see the read box part. We can follow the form to find. We can follow the form to find the photo slot. For example, if the error is this one, we can see this one. So the photo slot is CPU 0, DIMM 0. So we can find the photo slot from our motherboard, and at last we replace the memories. Replace the memory. So this one is the last page. It tells us we can learn more knowledge of SA5212H5 from our knowledge base. The website is here. We can click the website and log in the knowledge base. Yes, we can see the SA5212H5 server, the BIOS setting, the BMC setting, the features and the specifications, the hardware compatibility, the MOC configuration, the motherboard introduction, the parts introduction, the read setting, the related download. So the training is over. If you have any other questions, you can email to me. I'm your home. You can my email. I can tell you my email. DAIYH@inspro.com. If you have any other questions, you can email to me. So, the training is over. That's all. Thank you.